Introduction to Hypothesis Testing in Python. Welcome. Today we are learning how to compare groups, check if our results are real or by chance, and use statistics to make decisions. We will cover key ideas, learn what errors and p-values are, and work hands-on in Python. Let us get started. Running the cell now. Before we start, let us set up the environment by turning off warnings and importing useful packages. We will turn off Python warnings to avoid extra messages. We are using pandas for data, numpy for numbers, seaborn for graphs, and matplotlib for detailed plots. These tools help us work with data, run basic statistics, and make great charts. We use scipy.stats for statistical tests like hypothesis testing. By setting a theme for plots, our graphs will look more professional. Running the cell now. What is hypothesis testing? Hypothesis testing helps us decide, are our results real or due to randomness? We start with a null hypothesis. This is usually a statement of no difference or nothing is going on. We collect data, run a test, and based on the result, we either reject or fail to reject the null hypothesis. Common examples include comparing two averages, checking if a medicine works, or seeing if a new teaching method helps. Running the cell now. Let us simulate flipping a coin 20 times to see how randomness works in practice. We use numpy to simulate random events, just like tossing a real coin. Setting a seed makes the results the same each time, so everyone sees the same outcome. This line creates 20 random coin flips. We print all the results so you can see how often we get heads or tails. Running the cell now. Try counting how many times heads appears. Next, let us count how many heads and tails there are. Now we use numpy to count how many times heads and tails occur. We count how many flips are heads. We count how many flips are tails. This shows the number of heads. This shows the number of tails. Running the cell now. Do you see if the result matches what you expect for a fair coin? Types of hypotheses. Null hypothesis, H0 there is no real change or effect. Alternative hypothesis, H1 there is a real change or effect. For our coin, H0 says the coin is fair. H1 says the coin is not fair. Running the cell now. Now let us check, how surprising is our outcome if the coin is actually fair? We use a binomial test to see if the number of heads is weird for a fair coin. For 20 flips, we expect 10 heads if it is fair. This function calculates the p-value, which is the chance of seeing an outcome this extreme or more so. We print the p-value result. A small p-value means our result is unusual. Running the cell now. If the p-value is below 0.05, scientists often say the result is statistically significant. Let us interpret the p-value in plain English. This code checks if the p-value is below 0.05. If the p-value is very small, it is not likely the coin is fair, so we doubt the null hypothesis. In this case, we say we reject the null hypothesis, suggesting the coin might not be fair. If the p-value is not small, there is not enough evidence. We keep the fair coin idea. We print a message so you know what our evidence says about the coin. Running the cell now. Remember, not being able to reject does not prove the null is true. Introducing type 1 and type 2 errors. Type 1 error, rejecting the null when it is actually true, like a false alarm. Type 2 error, not rejecting the null when it is actually false, like missing a real effect. If we set our cutoff for p-value as 0.05, there is a 5% chance of a type 1 error. Running the cell now. Let us now simulate flipping fair coins many times to see how often we accidentally get a false alarm. We will simulate 1,000 experiments, just like our real coin flip. We count how many times the test thinks the coin is unfair, even when it is fair. This line counts the number of false alarms. Now we loop 1,000 times for lots of experiments. We simulate 20 coin flips, just like before. We count the number of heads in each fake experiment. The binomial test gives us a p-value for each simulated experiment. If we get a small p-value, we call that a false alarm, or type 1 error. Each time this happens, we add 1 to our counter. At the end, we print how often we wrongly accused a fair coin. Running the cell now. Notice how this number is close to 5% of our experiments. Switching to real data, restaurant tips example. We will use the tips dataset to learn how to test if people tip differently on Sundays. Real datasets let us practice making discoveries with actual observations. Running the cell now. Let us load the tips dataset and take a quick look at the shape and first few rows. We load a sample dataset from Seaborn called tips. This restaurant dataset is perfect for learning basic statistics. We check how many rows and columns it has. We preview the first few records to see what is inside. Running the cell now. Can you spot the column that tells us the day of the week? Now, let us separate Sunday tips and other days for visual comparison. We split the tips into two groups, Sundays and all other days. Now we select all the tips given on Sundays. We select tips from the other days. We create a new plot with a nice size. The first histogram shows how tips look on Sundays, in red. The second histogram shows other days in blue. We add a legend so the color codes are clear. This title explains what we are comparing. We label the x-axis to show tip amounts in dollars. We label the y-axis to show how often each tip happened. We display the plot so you can spot any differences. Running the cell now. What patterns do you see? Are Sunday tips higher, lower, or about the same? Let us now run a two-sample t-test to compare average tips on Sundays versus other days. Hypothesis testing helps us check if two groups are really different or just random. The t-test here checks for a difference in average tip size between Sundays and other days. This shows the t-statistic, which measures the size of the difference. The p-value helps us decide if the difference is likely real or just due to chance. Running the cell now. If the p-value is below 0.05, we have evidence for a real difference in tips by day. Let us see what the test tells us about tips on Sundays. We check if the p-value is smaller than 0.05. If it is, we say yes, there is a real difference in tips between Sundays and other days. This means we have evidence that Sunday tips really stand out. Otherwise, we say there is no strong proof that tips are different by day. Running the cell now. Test with different days for more practice. Key takeaways, errors, p-values, and real decisions. P-values tell us how likely our result is just from chance. Type 1 errors are false alarms, finding a difference that is not really there. Type 2 errors are missed discoveries, not finding a real difference. Final step, let us practice with one more example. Running the cell now. Now, you get to create your own two groups of tip amounts and test for a difference with your own data. Make two groups by entering 5 tip amounts for each. We will store the first group as a list. We will store the second group as a list. First, type in tip amounts for group 1. We will ask for each number 1 by 1. Each entered value is added to group 1. Next, type in tip amounts for group 2. Again, each number is added to group 2. Now we use the t-test to compare these two groups. We will see the t-statistic for difference. We check the p-value for statistical significance. Running the cell now. Try using one group with higher tips than the other to see what happens. Once you finish, be sure to like and subscribe for more lessons. Let us now interpret your experiment. We use the p-value from your test to see if there is evidence for a real difference. If there is, we say the difference is likely real. This means you successfully showed two different tip groups. If not, there is no strong proof the tips differ in your example. Running the cell now. Try changing your tip values and see how the p-value reacts. Challenge exercise. Pick 2 other days from the tips dataset. Test if the tip amounts are different between them. Try plotting the results and explaining your findings. Running the cell now. Recap. What have you learned? Null and alternative hypotheses help us check for real differences. P-values tell us if our findings could just be luck. We practiced with coin flips and real restaurant data. Errors remind us to be careful drawing conclusions. Keep exploring to grow your data skills. Running the cell now. Thanks for learning. Watch more and subscribe. If you enjoyed this lesson, check out the next video for deeper statistics. Like and subscribe for new tutorials each week. Running the cell now.